am almost always upbeat, positive, and try to find the best in every situation. But have you ever had one of those days where nothing went right? What's up, YouTube family? Gerald Greenlee here with Clean and Green Lawn Service in beautiful South GA. Hey, hope y'all having a great day today. Riding around in my little car today, man. So dressed up like this, you know I ain't doing no lawn work, but man, it's just one of those days, man. One of those days. But hey, God is good even on the bad days. That's how you have to look at it, really and truly. It's not so much about having this positive mental attitude. I used to take management classes when I worked in manufacturing, and they were always saying PMA, PMA, PMA. Dale Carnegie class. I don't know if any of you are my age. I'm about to be 50, maybe a little bit older than that. Dale Carnegie was a leadership guru. He had a phrase that we had to repeat to start the class. He wasn't teaching the class, but that was this course we were taking. Act enthusiastic and you'll be enthusiastic. All about positive mental attitude, right? Now, the problem with that stuff is that's pulling yourself up by your own bootstraps and motivating yourself. And look, there's a place for that. But the joy of the Lord is like no other joy. It's one of the oxymorons or paradoxes, something where you can be having a bad day and still have joy at the same time. It's something the world doesn't understand. But hey, I didn't come on here to preach. I did come to tell you about my day. We always think about business in terms of everything's going good and, you know, yada, yada, yada. And so this morning, I met JT at the shop and took him to show him the job for today, which ain't gonna get done, and show him the job for tomorrow, which is not gonna get started in the morning. Why? Well, I don't know. So we had a roof to get some algae off of. I paid $35 for a gallon of stuff that you spray on and it just takes it away. Well, you know, they say if it's too good to be true, it probably is. It just didn't work. But he sprayed the whole roof down and it didn't work. So then he decides to move on to the next project, and he calls me and says, hey, the pressure washer's not working. I was coming back from a pastor's meeting, so I had to go to my house, pick up another pressure washer, drive an hour back, and drop it off to him, and I drive an hour back home. So, we're definitely not getting the job done today, and I just told him not to worry about the roof because I don't want somebody up on top of a roof pressure washing it. Get up there and spray it down and stay on the dry part of the roof. It's all good. But, you know, to make a few $100s, it is not worth the risk of him falling off. So now we had to take a pressure washer up there, wash it down, and the hose is not long enough, so you have to put the little electric pressure washer on the roof. And I was like, we're not going to do it. I'm going to refer her to somebody that does roofs. It's not a steep roof, but still. All it takes is one slip, you're down on the ground, injured, could die, right? Not worth it. Money's not worth it. So she's just going to have to find somebody else to do that. I'm going to try to find somebody for her, and they can go over there and get with her, and I'm just going to knock that off the price. So all of that stuff I put on the roof, all of his time of being up there, my $35 worth of magic cleaner, down the drain. Hey, here's the deal. You win some, you lose some. So today will be one of those days where, you know, when it's all said and done, the company won't make money. You know, that's just the way it is. So you have days like that, though. What do? You learn from them, right? You regroup. Next day, you know, you just keep putting one step in front of the other. So really, I share all that because there are days like that, and that's a reality. And it's not just in business. You have that in your personal life. You have that in ministry. Anybody that, I know I got some folks that watch this channel that are Christians who are engaged in their local church, and we know that, you know, they teach Sunday school, maybe a deacon, you know, whatever. Some days are great, man. Everything just seems to go according to plan, and you're like, man, nice. And then some days it's just like everything goes wrong. So now, what went wrong today? We just lost some time. We're not really making any money today. That ain't the end of the world, right? If he would have slipped and fell off that roof, that would be a problem right now, because you got somebody hurt. Not just the money aspect of it, but the fact that you got somebody injured at a minimum. And so, you know, it's just, you have to look at the bright side of it, really. So anyway, it is 4:07. Man, I'm going back to the house, and I'm just going to chill out. Hadn't been at the office all day, because I went over to meet him this morning, went back to a pastor's meeting, went out to lunch with them. That ended up being like the whole thing ended up being like a 2.5-hour ordeal, which was good. I enjoyed it. And then on the way back home, I get that call, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So it's all good. I'll be in the office hitting it hot and heavy in the morning, and you know, getting things done. I hate doing that, though, you know, and that's but that's just one of the things. I got to get this guy trained, because, you know, I want to set him up for success, and the best way that I know how to do that is for me to take the time, show him what needs to be done, make sure he understands the expectations, and, you know, because you can't just throw a guy out there and then get mad at him when something don't go like it's supposed to, or something don't get done, or, you know, but that's really not fair. So I'm trying to take this time now, even though I'm missing a day or two here and there, just to get get things set in motion where I can turn him loose and he can just go. You know, then if he got an issue, you know, he can call, but he's pretty much set up now. We got a few more yards for him to get on for the first cut, so he can kind of see them, and yeah, he's good to go. We got him a company credit card, so he's already been to the store buying stuff with it today, because we forgot extension cords. You know, and there's some at the shop, but he wouldn't have known where to find that stuff. So and I told him, I said, man, because I thought we might need some more water hose. I said, just run down to the dollar store and get one if you need it. So anyway, that's just the way it is. So that's kind of how the day's gone. But you know what? If you like me, you know what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to give thanks in all things. And so that's easy to preach. Sometimes it's hard to live, but that's what we're called to do. So anyway, just a quick little update video, because I hadn't put anything out in, I don't know, probably a week or so. So I'm still alive. I'm still kicking. Oh, and one more thing. I heard, this is hearsay, I heard that the folks that got the wreck part, I heard that the bid, well, I'm not going to say what the bid was. I'm only going to say that their bid was a little over $30,000 less than my bid. Now, the way I got that thing figured up, they gonna average for the year, based on the scope of work that I was given, they gonna average, if they're efficient, they're going to average about $45 an hour. And that's got to cover payroll, equipment, fuel, blades, all them oil changes, depreciation, insurance, all the overhead, you know. So, hey, if they're happy they got it, I'm happy they got it. But I don't see the numbers working out. But, you know, I hope it does work for them. I don't wish bad on anybody, you know, because they just like anybody else. They ain't doing this. They ain't doing jobs like that just because they love cutting grass. They're trying to make a living. And so I hope that, you know, maybe it won't take as long as I thought it would. I would be surprised if anybody could cover ground much faster than we can cover ground with the equipment that we have. So just looking at the mowing acreage per hour and coming up with how many hours it's going to take in a year, it's going to be hard. They're going to have a thin margin, I believe. So anyway, but hey, it's all good, you know. If it works for them, that's great. So anyway, let me get off this thing. Appreciate y'all watching. And my prayer for you is always the same, that the Lord might richly bless you and that you might see all of your blessings as from Him.